Halo 1 was a pretty good game. Not just gameplay-wise. I mean, it was fun. Halo 1 was fun. I think we spent years, frankly, at this point, saying, how do we ratchet the bar across the board up for Halo 2?
In a lot of ways, Halo 2 is just an extension of all the excitement we felt at the end of Halo 1 and that we didn't get to, express.
Just in every way, we've really increased the scale and the scope of the game.
It's exploring huge environments, 10 times the size of Halo 1.
It's about kicking ass in as many ways as possible, in as many different bodies as possible.
Halo 2 is about guns and more guns. That's what it's about.
There's a lot of the story that we didn't get to tell.
Boo. Kill the demon.
There are characters that we had conceived of and even in some case modeled. And it's also the same group of people too, and they all still want to do what they're doing.
We want our game to look like a movie. We want it to look like something that's just unbelievable to experience.
I guess we're sort of feeding off each other, so it's a really creative group of people that trust each other.
The really important thing to do now is to take all these different disciplines who are all working on their own things and take all those pieces, take the AI code and the physics and the guys working on the levels and bring all those pieces together at the same time, and then you keep doing that. You keep colliding things together until it's a game.
Grab it, grab it, grab it. Keep going, I got your back.
No, not you, dude. Dude, shoot the guy at the window.
Hop in.
Grab the sword, get him.
Keep it going, keep it going.
Oh, yes! This process began with the end of Halo and realizing all the stuff that we had left out. And Jason and I and Jamie and a few other people sitting down and thinking really hard about, oh, wow, what did we really want to tell? And then Jason locked himself in a room for a while and organized his core ideas and then came to me and said, hey, these are my thoughts about a story for Halo 2. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't know if we're crazy or stupid or we just like good stories or what, but we certainly worry about that a lot more than you might think we'd have to in a game that's mostly just about action and about not thinking.
In Halo 1, there was maybe 30 seconds of fun that happened over and over and over and over again. So if you can get 30 seconds of fun, you can pretty much stretch that out to be an entire game. Encountering a bunch of guys, melee attacking one of them before they were aware, throwing a grenade into a group of other guys, and then cleaning up the stragglers before they could surround you. And so you can have all the great graphics and all the different characters and lots of different weapons with amazing effects, but if you don't nail that 30 seconds, you're not going to have a great game.
This is the copy of the script, the cinematic script for Halo. This document needs to talk to programmers and artists and animators and everybody. This is 160 pages worth of cinematics. That's kind of crazy if you just think about it on its own. But when you look at a game which is 15 levels long and with a couple protagonists and a fairly complex story arc, I mean, when you need to drive the player's experience for 20 hours of gameplay, say, 120 minutes of cinematics doesn't really seem that out of proportion. But just to look at it prima facie, it's pretty daunting, you think. My God, you're making a feature film.
Why was it not destroyed with the rest of their fleet?
It fled as we set fire to their planet. But I followed with all the ships in my command.
When you first saw Halo, were you blinded by its majesty?
It's not about making it complex, and it's not about playing movies for 2 hours between every 5 minutes of gameplay, but the more you can make somebody believe that they're in this cool place, that they're on Halo fighting the Covenant, instead of whatever, sitting in their living room at 2 in the morning trying to, finish some stupid video game.
I will continue my campaign against the humans.
There's a lot of complexity here up in this geometry, but look down now. There's very little of that down here.
Oh, right.
And I think we should try to flip-flop some of that. We start with the story, first of all. We get a good background to the entire game, just a foundation for things, and then we start building levels off of that. This particular level that I'm looking at right now is called the Sentinel Headquarters. The Sentinel is this hovering character. They don't need floors. They can fly up through the ceilings, they can fly through portals that are 20 feet up. But you as the character will have the challenge of traversing this interesting terrain inside the structure, up and across beamwork and through these little portals throughout the space. So it's going to be really interesting for the player to explore.
All right, we made it, huh? All right, Michael's going to talk about the engineering and stuff.
It's amazing to me how good stuff looks and how much progress we have, but something I've been thinking a lot about is E3.
E3 stands for the Electronic Entertainment Expo, and it's the biggest event in the video game world where all the developers and all the publishers and all the gaming press all get together for, it's almost a week-long carnival, practically.
Trade shows are useful because they make you get your shit together.
It's important for us to get excited about what we get done for E3 because we need to build that excitement up and go.
God damn, we have a lot of work to do between now and E3.
I think it's really important to be ambitious. I think it's important to have more balls in the air that you can catch at the end when it all comes down to it and you have to ship a game. But certainly you can go too far.
Of all the people on the team, Tyson and I are probably the people who are the most frightening for Jason and the programmers. We are the most crazy, scripting, crack smoking. This would be so cool, damn the frame rate. Let's pound the code and make these crazy things happen.
Oh, no.
Woohoo! E3 demo from start to finish.
Woohoo! They entered the city a little over an hour ago.
Yesterday, before the demo, we had all this stuff that we were just throwing in, and finally something began to catch, and we started moving. But all this stuff that didn't exist 2 hours earlier is all of a sudden in the demo and ready to show to people. That's when it's the most rewarding and most fun to be doing this sort of stuff, is when it clicks.
So you will continue fighting. I don't think this part of the script is going to work, but at some point, you and your ODST buddies will jump down and you'll have 2 SMGs at this point, 1 in each hand, and you will begin to tear into the grunt.